In this video, I'll continue my relentless pursuit of building this entire shed for absolutely nothing. No money shall change hands. Every single piece is recycled, reclaimed or legally scavenged. And today, a pile of free larch offcuts is going to undergo a miraculous transformation into a shingle roof. Well, that's the theory, anyway. The Evolution R255 Plus arrived back in January. It was like Christmas Day, assuming your idea of festive cheer involves heavy machinery and a complete lack of social life. Bailey, the canine site manager, is currently conducting his initial health and safety inspection before we inevitably abuse it later. I'll be doing a proper, serious review after 6 months of tearing through timber. This won't be that total spoof YouTube video called The Iron Maiden that some cowboy posted on this channel. There's also a rather interesting reveal coming up in that video. And furthermore, I shall be demonstrating some highly creative methods of acquiring these accessories for free. Because the absolute mantra here on this channel is do it for free, and that'll do. So the spring has sprung, the grass has risen, and I now have access to this pile of larch offcuts. Naturally, I load up as many as my spine can handle during the daily dog walk down by the river. Oh, happy days. I dial in 140mm on the rack and pinion dial. I love that rack and pinion, by the way. I rip each plank to width, and I cut them to 200mm shingles. And everything is looking really good. Cue a completely gratuitous, self-indulgent montage of shingles stacked neatly on Stanley sawhorses. A thoroughly pointless viewing experience for you there, but it pads out the runtime nicely. Back at the botch job end of the shed, I scramble onto the roof and begin a dry run. I lay the shingles out, and at first glance it all looks reasonably sensible. Now, most of the shingle roofing videos on YouTube seem to originate from the United States. There's lots of gorgeous cedar. Nothing wrong with cedar, of course, but the Americans seem to taper their shingles so they're beautifully thick at one end and thin at the other. Mine are not. They're just uniform chunks of wood, and I couldn't work out to do the taper. I tried. I really did try. For a considerable, frankly embarrassing amount of time, without success. My agonising long wait to become an intermediate woodworker continues. And so, this project enters its next inevitable phase, trial and error, with an exceptionally heavy emphasis on the error. And of course, the great advantage of using free, offcut wood is you can chuck it in the recycling bin. So, change of plan. I build a jig, because as every YouTube carpenter knows, jigs and templates are a lonely woodworker's best friend. I hatch a brilliant new strategy, and the shingles are just going to get sliced clean in half instead. Cue another artisan montage. This one is time-lapse, mind you. The previous one was static photos, which just takes ages to stage and photo. Time-lapse represents a massive technological leap forward for this channel. Progress. By evening, the workshop floor is an absolute chaos. The dog is waiting patiently for his salary, payable in salmon biscuits, and the shop vac has never been this full in its entire existence. Unbelievable, Jeff. The shingles are now cut in half, and there's no artisan montage on the Stanley sawhorses. Back up to the roof to put up these shingles. I decide on a double layer right at the bottom, utilising the full-size original shingles that escaped my mid-afternoon butchery. Everything above that row will use the new half-cut version's precision cut on my lovely Evolution table saw. Now, off camera, I also added a trim at the front of the shed, a temporary one, much like the aerodynamic Ryanair wing tips that I bodged up in the last episode. These are designed to locate the shingles properly. I remove the temporary trims and replace with ripped larch with this gorgeous colour and fantastic grain. I'm using a Silverline brad nailer here, hooked up to an air compressor that I got second hand from my friend. Thank you, Ben. Really handy. The Ryanair wingtips get relocated from the front to the back of the shed to ensure I get a nice, crisp, perfectly even line along the shingle edges. My eldest son has lent me his 6-foot spirit level. It's not a yellow stabila, which is deeply disappointing, but it remains structurally acceptable. There's absolutely no room here. The wall of prickly, aggressive plants, and well, that's just the things I do for this channel. Pure dedication to the cause. I remove the original botch job pattern from the botch job area and immediately replace it with an entirely different botch job. I'm forced to wedge a random single shingle under the end of this run because predictably I've run out of shingles. The lower trim goes on And with a sigh of relief, I officially declare the roof complete. Except for this bodge job here, look. Bodge job. That bodge job sat in the back of my mind, visible, staring at me, judging my life choices. It began to claw at my sanity overnight. That Will Do Engineering Limited suddenly faces a full-blown existential crisis. Everything on this channel is built using free reclaimed materials, fitted strictly to the prestigious standards of That'll Do. But actually questioning the quality of a bodge job, it threatens the very foundations of this company. The next morning, a dark day indeed. The That'll Do standard has not been upheld. It was actually a bit too rubbish, even for me. Immediate remedial action has been ordered by my internal auditor, that's Bailey, and I tear off the top section, remove the offending bodge. Under the strict cover of darkness in the garage, I quietly manufacture replacement shingles. No Bailey, no cameras, no witnesses. This never happened. Suddenly, my waterproofing standards have become alarmingly competent. This is terrifying, unfamiliar territory. It's a massive step away from the mediocre standards we actively strive for on this channel, and frankly, it places the integrity of all future failures in absolute jeopardy. And as you can see, we've got a minor bodge job there, but the trim that we'll add in the next chapter will cover that up. We've treated the Larch with wood preserver. Technically, it was already treated during its previous life at the Riverman's dream house, but after slicing each piece in half and exposing its inner naked beauty to the British elements, it deserves another coat. The verdict? Bodge job successfully expunged, satisfaction restored. Complete disbelief washes over me, accompanied by a genuine concern over what becomes of this channel if my craftsmanship continues to accidentally improve. Let's revisit the hero shot. Now that looks proper. The attic space still needs some custom doors to house surfboards, paddleboards and whatever else can be crammed inside what I firmly believe is a semi-waterproof attic, sitting directly above a definitely waterproof shed, built entirely from free, scavenged rubbish. Let me know if you have any great ideas on how these doors should operate or what materials to use. I'm running desperately low on Larch.
Lovely. Hope you've enjoyed. See you again.